What's going on, everyone? Badger here. If you haven't been watching today, we've had a couple of Superman stories. Recommend everyone check out Michael Shannon recounting his time on Man of Steel. It was very entertaining, but unfortunately, we have to get back to talking about the current Superman, of course, James Gunn's DCU Superman with David Corenswet, who they've been going all out for recently for their For Your Considerations, which in this case, I mean, they're going to try and go for Oscars, but they're also targeting the Golden Globes. James Gunn is Best Picture. David Cornsweet, Best Actor, Best Song to James Gunn, because of course he wrote the Mighty Crabjoys theme song, and they can't nominate the actual theme song because it doesn't qualify because it uses too much of John Williams' score. And now we are getting information on its sequel, Superman, Man of Tomorrow, which of course will be filming 2 months before Supergirl comes out. And would you believe I know we said that Peacemaker, the royal we, that we kept being told by James that Peacemaker, Salvation, and the Checkmate organization, he hammered it home that if nothing else, the reveal of the Salvation prison planet for metahumans. This is a planet that they discovered through the quantum doors that they said was safe, even though it's got monsters in it, and it's connected to the comics. But of course, he says he's not going to use the comic run. It's just the idea of it. That and Adebayo, the daughter of Amanda Waller, she makes the Checkmate organization, which even though that is a nefarious organization in the comics, it's apparently going to be pretty prestigious and good in the DCU, and that we are going to see them again. And we are now hearing that. So would you believe My Time to Shine Hello is saying that characters from Peacemaker Season 2 will be in the Man of Tomorrow. Not talking about the obvious Lex, because yes, if you missed it, Lex and Rick Flag Jr. entered into a little scissoring relationship where Lex has gotten time off of his sentence, and then eventually he'll probably just be outright released for helping Argus find the quantum doors and find Salvation, the prison planet. You know, we got Rick Flag doing coke, not with Josh from Dinner Nerds, but doing coke with Sydney Ampersand or whatever his name is in the control room. That was fun. And of course, Peacemaker got stranded with the promise that they will all be very important. You can see here the now villainous, or at least adversarial, Rick Flag Sr. and his team were always a given. But we'd say that these other characters most likely refer to, if not Christopher Smith himself, Peacemaker, then the rest of the 11th Street kids who formed Checkmate in the Peacemaker Season 2 finale. And we saw Judo Master and the Tim Meadows character and the Cyborg, not Cyborg, but the Cyborg, little Latin chick. They all joined, and that is who we are expected to see in the future. You can see here, the plot details are still under wraps. We know David Cornsweet and Nicholas Hoult will reprise their roles, and it is apparently a 50-50 split between Lex and Superman, with possibly even more screen time for Lex. We know that James Gunn has been very open and honest about identifying with the Lex Luthor character more than Superman. And the question, of course, is who they're going to fight. And so far, it's looking like it is between Brainiac and Mongol. We've already seen a female Mongol in the Suicide Squad called Mongress. If you want to go check that out, also by James Gunn. Personally, I'm going towards it being Brainiac. If nothing else, then I think we were definitely one of the people who saw some of the original screenings of Superman. At one point, there was an end credit sequence that absolutely had a fully formed Brainiac in prosthetics and makeup, and apparently a Hal Jordan one. Those ended up being cut, so we know they at least have designs and machinations for Brainiac. So I actually do think that's who, and it makes sense, especially if you connect it to him possibly being involved in the destruction of Krypton, which they've done before. Nexus Point News recently shared, of course, the casting breakdowns, and makeup and prosthetics was shown to be used for the film's antagonist, in addition to actors with a strong build and stature. When they say here makeup and prosthetics could bring a lot of Superman's enemies to life on screen, but a strong build and stature doesn't necessarily scream Brainiac, who is often depicted as fairly average, unless you go to the Injustice and some of the more recent ones, where he absolutely has been a more physically imposing, at least like the prime version of Brainiac. And then he's got a bunch of like android minions, of course, that sometimes they take on different forms, and sometimes they look like creepy spider monsters. But the main actual factual Brainiac, oftentimes recently, has been shown to be quite big and bulky, gooch in stature, if you will. So that's the story. Nice quick one here. We are hearing confirmation that yes, we will see Peacemaker characters in Man of Tomorrow. And are you really shocked or surprised? I'm not. Anyway, let me know what you think of this. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And
well, bye.